Hey guys, this is my vlog day number 3. I'm back here in Austin, Texas, and that was my last day in College Station, storm chasing door to door before I head back to Utah to celebrate my birthday in 2 days and hang with family and friends I haven't seen in a long time. But let's get down to the meat and potatoes, life as a storm chaser, what it looked like, waking up in the Airbnb. I really enjoyed getting away from my usual life. That is one of the blessings and cons of storm chasing is you never know where you're going to be, but it really shakes up when things start to settle and you get complacent and you get into a rut. I do appreciate that, and being in a new place will do that. So yeah, if you're feeling stagnant in your career, going to a new location will do wonders. It did it for me when I moved to Austin 3 years ago. I wasn't even in the middle of a storm. That was just a whole life mix up, but that really helped me out. Sorry, cooking some food that distracted me. I woke up today and did my usual meditation to get things going. And I knew it was my last day, so I wanted to get after it. I didn't want to waste the opportunity there. And I went prospecting or door knocking with a guy I hadn't done it with before. And he's a real estate agent who does a lot of cold calling. And in the 6 years that I've done storm chasing, besides office leads, I've had to do 90% of my business from door to door and word of mouth. And so I had a little more experience than him in knocking doors, and he has more experience in cold calling. But we had a good time working together and found a nice new area to go to that was newer roofs. And as I mentioned in my last video, new roofs tend to not have damage from hail. And from the street, when you see new roofs, it's kind of like a letdown that maybe there's no hail damage here and we can't help these people out. But these houses had really great hail damage to them. And so the nice thing will be that a lot of roofers will not go to this area because of the age of the roof. And I've got to say, College Station so far hasn't had a lot of roofers in it compared to my experience working storms that happen closer to Austin. So I'm excited for the next couple of weeks because I think there will still be meat on the bones in College Station. And when me and this guy were knocking together, the first prospect that we knocked into close to where he had set his cold call appointments was a lead that we got, and we got up there on the roof and it went really well. And I think this guy will be filing a claim. He was concerned about a high deductible, but he has damage to his roof, and we will work with him to get him insurance proceeds for damage to the house. Gosh, you probably are like, this is getting boring, but this is how it works. Find damage around the house that isn't for the roof, and then we can honestly decrease the cost of his out-of-pocket with that insurance money. So yeah, that was that. And then we continued to knock more in this area. Kind of a tough time of day, and we didn't get too much more besides a couple of comeback laters. And then we went back and took a little break and watched storm highlights. This is how I get in the zone as a storm chasing door-to-door roofer, as I watch the Weather Channel with storm highlights while I eat my shrimp linguine pre-prepped from Cook Unity, a collective of private chefs. And that was a great recharge. And then because this guy I was with was from College Station, we went to one of his relatives' house to do an inspection. And while there was no damage on her house, out here in this country, there were really large roofs, and they were in our maps that show where hail damage has happened. And this is really cool. So we go to this neighborhood, and because there's a roofer there knocking, we wanted to go somewhere else. We didn't want to be knocking on doors where a guy had just knocked, or it would just set a bad precedent with him, and with the homeowners there would not want to talk to us after talking to him. So we went to this other neighborhood, and it looked really new, like I was saying, and to drive in these long driveways and to spend all that time, and then maybe to get someone who wants you to do an inspection, and then there to be no damage because it's a new roof, is just such a buzzkill. So we were gonna leave, and then on our way out of this neighborhood, we saw a roof with streaking on it, which is usually indicative of a roof 10 years or older, and which is exactly what this roof was 10 years. And so it's going to have damage, and the garage door was open, so I tell him to stop, and then he stopped in the driveway, and I did a door approach, and it was a spicy one. It was good. It was about a 9.7 out of 10, and essentially it's standing back away from the door, looking very casual, nonchalant, maybe looking at the roof or looking in the door like you're there on a purpose for them specifically. And so the wife answers the door, and basically I'll share this. It's I'm with LOA Construction. I'm intentionally vague about what LOA Construction could be, anything, right? And my name is Landon. We're out here doing inspection for your neighbor right there, maybe give their name or not. And because of the hailstorm that was 2 days ago. So now they're connecting, oh, you were here doing that. And then you'd be like, yeah, we found damage to their roof. And so I just finished up that inspection, and I have a little extra time. I have like 15 minutes. So you're prefacing that it's a quick inspection. Yeah, it's just 15 minutes, and I had a little extra time before I head back home. And yeah, it's a free inspection. And so at least you know if there's hail damage or not. And we create a report if we do find damage and email that to you. And like I said, it's a free inspection. And lately, for a lot of my career, I don't even have to ask for the inspection, the sale. I can just give the benefits of what I just did and what I will do. And they'll be like, sure, go up there and get it. And then lately, what I've seen too is if people don't say no to me, if they don't tell me they have somebody else, and I do this loop around of, I just did it, we had that hailstorm, it's a free inspection, were you around, have you had your roof looked at? If they're letting me talk, like it's gonna be a done deal. They're gonna let me do it. And if I need to end the conversation, because sometimes people, they're like, are you gonna ask me for something? And so the last couple of days, would you be opposed to me giving you a free inspection on your property? And asking a question like that, would you be opposed to? It's easier for them to say no, so there's a little bit of sales psychology there, but then that gets me the inspection. And yeah, get up on this roof. It's about a 6,000 square foot roof and very complex, and there's damage to the gutters and to the chimney, so item into the wood around the house. So items that we can get the homeowner that they can then have us do those repairs too, along with the roof, or they can use that money for the deductible and decrease the out-of-pocket cost. And this is selling some value by doing a thorough inspection. So that they want us to work with them to maximize their claim with their insurance. And this roof, because it's a 6,000 square foot roof, I think we're looking at about a $10,000 commission on it. And Josh and I working together today, we're splitting all the leads that we got, 3 of them today. About a $4,000 commission and a $10,000 and at least an $8,000 commission. But you usually close about 1 in 3 on those. So a good day, if you think that is about $25,000, and a third of that would be $8,000. And if we split that, $4,000. So I kind of made $4,000 today. It takes about 6 months for these sales cycles to close, but that just gives you an idea of what's the potential that's there. And you got to keep stacking these and keep filling the funnel. And that was a great meeting with these really nice people. They invited us in, and they were straightforward with us that we're having another roofer come out, and they asked us for the price. They alluded to why us when there are so many other companies in the area and somebody else is coming out. And so just from years of experience, it's not being too eager, but knowing what people are looking for, which is that the job is done right, which that they can trust you. Warranties are huge. And in this industry, especially as competitive as Texas is, It's so big that you work for an established roofing company if you're meeting somebody off the street, because you're already at a disadvantage when you knock on their door. They're already weary, right? You're not somebody that the neighbors recommended. You're not somebody that already did somebody's project. So you really have to know how to sell on value. Well, and you need to know the value is in the company that I work for. That's 1/3 of the pillars of the sales trust procedure. The other is the person, and then the other is the product. And so you have a company, a person, and a product, and you have to hit on all of those. And so it felt like we did a pretty good job demonstrating like our knowledge and our experience and answering their questions. And then you never know what's going to happen. So that's why you got to always keep prospecting, and the guys that do the best. It's not rocket science. You say a lot of the same things as the other guys. It's just being the best version of yourself and filling the hopper, bringing new leads into the funnel. You do that, you're going to make good money in this industry. You're going to have to move around. You're going to have to go to new cities. But if you're willing to do that, if you're willing to put in the time, if you have a good company, you make money in this. And that's why there's so many people in it, because the traditional routes of working a 9 to 5 and having a boss breathing down your neck for $85K is just repulsive and disgusting. And then you can't afford a house on that kind of money and selling your soul. So at least with storm chasing, while you may have to pack a bag at a moment's notice and go to a new city, at least you don't have a boss. You can make $4,000 quote unquote in a day. It's going to take 6 months. And if you put in the time over, like 4 to 8 months of work in a year, you're going to make multiple 6 figures if you work like we did today. So we left that appointment, got everything we needed. And we made sure to take the time. There's no point to rush out of there, especially on a deal like that that's worth the $10,000 commission at least. But we leave and we go back to the area where we saw the roofer knocking previously, and he was still there. So the guy was putting in the time, and we were gonna leave the neighborhood, but we just went past him into it, and where we knew that he hadn't been already, and we got out. And Josh took one side of the road, I took the other, and the first lady was very turned off by all the phone calls you get, because when you have these hailstorms, on a map where they were at. It's pretty exact, marked out, and you can pull all the phone numbers and contact information of each address in the map. And so she'd been hit up by lots of phone calls, and it is an effective way that roofing companies do, because it's just a numbers game. And if you set an appointment with someone on the phone, they've probably vetted your website, and as a project manager, you show up, and it's really seamless. Even more so than knocking, and roofers know that. So, but yeah, I kind of let it be. I know she's gonna do it eventually. That's the hard thing. But it was also a very real, new looking roof. And one thing that I've learned in this business is take no for an answer and leave a good impression and gauge the situation. My door approach doesn't change anymore. It's the same thing, what I mentioned earlier. If you're in door-to-door sales and you want to talk, I also did solar and other sales positions and can help you with your door approach. Just send me a DM or comment below this video. And then I went on to the next house, and it was a very nice lady, and really leaned heavily on Josh's aunt being just down the road. So I took the same door approach that I just finished that inspection at this house right here. I did a little pullback because she had a newer roof, and I want people to see that I'm just gonna be honest, and told this lady that my last inspection at our relative's house didn't have damage, so we told her, but half of the roofs that we've been getting on in this area do, depending on the age of the roof. So, it's just a free inspection. It'll take us 15 minutes, and at least you'll know if there is damage to it and if you should work with your insurance or not. And she didn't say anything, so I was like, so would you be opposed to me doing this inspection for you? And she said, sure, go ahead and do it if it's free. So you get that a lot. And this is just a great way to build value. When someone comes to your door and if you ask for something too soon, if you come across salesy, those are just no-nos. Be really direct with people. There's no reason to be around the bush. There's no reason to be dishonest, but give them something. Have a positive vibe. You offer this free inspection. And you know what I've noticed, like I said, you do 3 of those, you're gonna get 1 deal. So get those inspections, do a good job, explain we'll save you money on your deductible with my expertise and knowledge and what I found in my inspection. When you leave, let them know what the next steps in the process are, and then as soon as you can, at 24 hours at the latest, send them a follow-up email with the inspection report of the pictures you made and a basic email that outlines the next steps. And it's great that my company invests in one of the best CRMs, so it's so easy to upload the pictures on the spot and to create a report and to email it off. So really grateful for the company that I'm with. They give me all the tools to succeed in what is one of the most competitive markets in the country, Central Texas. And if I wasn't with them, I wouldn't be in this industry. And I want to get out. I'm not going to lie too. There's this industry, while the money is good, you really got to hustle, and you deal with a lot of disappointment, a lot of highs, a lot of lows. A lot of people will just like stab you in your back after you do all this work, and it takes its toll on you. And while people will pay me money for doing it, and while I sometimes like it, and while I am somewhat good at it, it doesn't intersect as well as other things that I'm good at and I'm passionate about and people pay me for. But it's a means to an end, and it does make money, and it's the key to unlocking bigger and more aligned purpose in my own life. But I'm so grateful for it right now, and I'm grateful that you watched this long into this vlog of day 3. And this will be the last vlog for a while, at least regarding work and storm chasing. So thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe if you got something out of this. And if you have any questions about sales or door-to-door, leave them in the comments. Peace.